He did not see people first. He heard them coming. This city was not built from buildings. It was built from footsteps that never stopped. He stood at the edge of the road, where even the thinnest shadow was still enough to hide a small body. His ears lifted, not toward any one person, but open to every direction. Every passing step carried information, fast or slow, heavy or light, confident or uncertain. That was how he learned to read humans. There were hurried steps, rushed, never fully touching the ground. These rarely looked down. The ones who carried them were chasing something ahead, and there was no space for any creature outside their path. With steps like those, he kept his distance. He did not approach. He did not draw attention. There were heavy steps, dragging, as if the earth were holding them back. They smelled of exhaustion, sometimes sharp with irritation. Those who carried them were easy to anger, easy to kick whatever lay in the wrong place. He had learned that lesson too many times to test it again. There were uneven steps, tilted, off balance, with the scent of old alcohol. Unpredictable. He stayed away. And then there were very fast steps, very decisive, without hesitation, without deviation. These were not for him. They passed through everything. He did not need to see a face to know. The city woke to the rhythm of human feet. Shoes striking pavement formed a language understood only by those who had to live close to the ground. He stood still, letting the current of people flow like water, not entering it, not crossing it. Sometimes, someone stopped. Not because of him. Because of a phone, a cigarette, a private thought. When that happened, he held his breath. Not out of fear, but because he knew that stillness always carried the possibility of being seen. And being seen was not always a good thing. He once believed humans did not look down because they did not care. Later, he realized most of them simply had no reason to look. Their world existed at eye level. What lay lower was usually ignored. That was both dangerous and safe. He began to move when the stream of feet thinned. Slipping close to the wall, his steps so light that even he could barely hear them. Not because he was small, but because he had learned how to place his paws without leaving evidence. Every day, he practiced this without naming it. Avoidance was not cowardice. Avoidance was skill. A group passed by, laughing. Their laughter was high, falling from above like light objects that never touched him. He did not react. Laughter carried neither food nor danger. He let it drift past. A child tugged an adult's hand, pointing down at him. A tiny hand. A sweet smell. The adult pulled the child away. The footsteps continued. He remained still until they were completely gone. Not because he was sad, only because he was used to everything passing by without stopping. Sometimes he realized that the whole city moved without needing him to participate. The streets did not open to lead him anywhere. They simply existed for other feet. He had once tried to step farther out. Just once. Immediately, a shout sliced through the air. He turned back before he understood the words, not because he feared language, but because he understood tone. The voice sounded like heavy steps. No need to confirm. He retreated into the shade. The shade was not comfortable, but the shade did not ask who he was, and it did not demand that he leave. Morning passed that way, streams of feet appearing, then disappearing. No one noticed the creature learning how to survive in the cracks of the city. With each day, he understood one thing more clearly. To live here, he must not become an obstacle. He had to be empty space. Empty space was not collided with. Empty space was not called. Empty space was safe. And so, in a city always in motion, he learned his most important lesson. Not how to move forward, but how not to be touched. The city kept walking without knowing him, and he, standing at the edge of the human current, learned to exist by leaving no footprints. Sometimes, disappearing was not the same as being gone. Sometimes, it was the only way to remain.